With the FIT philosophy, we have what? Focus, invest, and now it's time to transform. Who's ready to transform? I see you. I love it. He like, all right. Now, our final speaker coming to the stage is no stranger to transformation. After being cut from the 7th grade basketball team, he'll never forget that. All right, Mr. Jamal Roland Jr. made a decision. He decided to reinvest himself. 7th grade, yeah, it had to be, that hurt his feelings. Listen, okay? He decided to reinvent himself, not just as a player, but as a person. Today, he's a powerful motivational speaker, helping others do the same. His talk would break down the steps to reinvention and the internal and external barriers that often get in our way. Jamal's message is simple: step into the unknown, take bold action, and become who you were meant to be. Oh, and when he's not inspiring minds, you'll find him shooting hoops or missing. No, I'm just playing. Let me stop. or playing pool. But please welcome to the stage the one, the only, Jamal Roland Jr. All right.
What's going on, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate that. How are you all feeling today? Great. All right, that's good. That's really good to hear. So I want to direct your attention to something. Have any of you noticed that 420 and Easter is on the same day next week? Y'all realize that? Whoever made the calendar this year and put those 2 days together, they didn't do that one right. They're entirely wrong for that, because tell me why people are coming to me and say, hey, JJ, can I praise the Lord high on Easter? And I'm like, if you have to ask, what do you think? Do you think that's something you should probably do? But JJ's on the same day. Yeah, nah, probably not. Probably not the best idea, but I digress for that. I just wanted to point that out to you all. So, I want you guys to relax a little bit. And I want to tell you all a story, right? So, as I tell you this story, keep this idea in mind. And it's something that I realized when I was in high school, that no matter how much we change, that sometimes people still hold us or view us as the person we were when they first met us. I see y'all shake your head. Y'all agree with that? It can be however many years ago. It was 33 years ago, 11 years ago, 3 years ago, a year ago, just a ago. But I noticed this about sometime in high school. So let's fast forward to my sophomore year of high school, right? Growing up, I was the type of basketball player I was a defender. Defensive player. I wasn't really known for my offensive capabilities. I was doing all the intangibles, diving for loose balls, getting rebounds, things of that nature, right? People say, oh, pick him up. He's good at defense. He played defense. And I was like, hey, man, like, if I do say so myself, I appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was the kind of player I was. So looking at my sophomore year of high school, I vowed to myself, I told myself, I said, hey, no more will I not be good at not scoring the basketball. Because I got tired of my teammates dictating whether or not we won or lost the game. Because that affected me. I wanted to have control of that myself. And not only did I get better, I became a knockdown shooter. And not only did I become a knockdown shooter, I became a sniper. Contested, uncontested, slightly contested, hand down, man down, hand up, so what? It didn't matter. Like, it was going in. So let's fast forward to junior year of tryouts. I played on the team previous years before, but this was, just routine of making it official, being part of the team. So I remember I shot a free throw line jump shot, and it was slightly contested, and I missed. I was actually surprised that I missed. So I'm like, oh, wow, like, okay, I ain't worried about it. So I'm running back on defense, and the coach, he said, hey, like, what are you doing? Why'd you take that shot? And me, I'm like, that's a regular shot. I work on that shot. So I was like, hey, man, I work on that shot. And he was upset. So he stopped the scrimmage because he believed I was talking back to him. But my thing is that, hey, like, I really do work on that. And at that moment, I realized that he was holding me to the type of player I was my freshman year of high school. See, freshman year me wouldn't have taken that shot. But me at that time, like, that's what I do now. Like, I normally make those. I just so happen to miss that one. So unfortunately, later on that season, I didn't receive a lot of minutes. Players are asking me like, oh man, like, why aren't you playing? And I'm like, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. They're saying like, hey, yo, bro, like, you can shoot. And I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Thank you. But it's cool when shots are going in, but when shots are not going in, it's a lot of question marks and side eyes. Like, what are you doing? Why are you taking that shot? Why are you taking those type of shots? It was very frustrating because I felt like I was in a box, like I was confined. Have any of you ever felt like you were being placed in the box, being around a certain group of people? They're still viewing you as who you were then instead of viewing you as who you are now. See, that's how we outgrow friendships, because sometimes they don't view us or accept the changes that we've made as a person. They don't accept the new us. Have any of you ever felt that way? Yeah. Hey. So for me though, what I did was, what I noticed that when I played at other parks and other courts and played with new people, I was able to step outside that box. I was able to expand my horizons and play like who I was at that time. There was no question marks, no side eyes, no raised eyebrows, like, what are you doing? It was just, oh, like, that must be how you play. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to surround yourself around new people. Because when you surround yourself around new people, you're allowed to be the new person that you become. See, some of you may have already reinvented yourselves, but you're not allowed to be the person you've reinvented because you're around the same people that's expecting the same things from you. So I'm encouraging you to progress forward, progress into new habits, progress into a new way of thinking, progress into the new person you are instead of reverting back to your old habits, reverting back to your old way of thinking, reverting back to the old person that you were. That is what I'm encouraging you to do too. Surround yourself around new people so that way you can be the person that you may have already reinvented. Now, those are just external factors imposed upon you as to what can prohibit you from reinventing yourself. So what are some internal factors that can prohibit us from reinventing ourselves? Do anybody here read comics? Like fictional characters, anime, so on? Okay, I'm a big anime fan and comics and fictional characters, superheroes myself. So does everybody know The Flash? Barry Allen, the fastest man alive? Okay, cool. We got the idea. Everybody know Kid Flash, his sidekick, Wally West? Okay. For those that don't know, Batman or Robin and Flash or Kid Flash, basically the same thing. So the thing is though, Wally West is actually technically faster than Barry. But however though, he had a mental block that prohibited him from surpassing Barry. Which kind of makes sense in a way because he looked up to Barry. Barry taught him how to use his speed. He taught him how to be a hero. And Wally's mind is, hey, he's the Flash. He's the fastest man alive. I can't possibly measure up to him, to that. It kind of makes sense in a way. However, though, he was not able to reach his full potential. Now, you may be wondering, did he ever reach his full potential? Those that read comics may know already, but the answer is yes, though. He did reach his full potential. But how? What changed? What was different? So what was different was that in the comics, Barry Allen died, right? And then Wally had to take on the mantle as the Flash. And in him doing so, he had to think differently. Why? Because he's in a new position of life to where he has to think differently. So what I'm encouraging you to do is put yourself in a new position that will force you, that would challenge your way of thinking into something else. Challenge yourself to become the person you want to reinvent. That is what I'm encouraging you to do. Because see, for Wally, as the Flash, he can't be the Flash still thinking like Kid Flash. In his mind is, hey, I'm the Flash now. I'm the fastest man alive now. I have to save the day now. So me being the new person that you've met today, I am the one telling you, you are as creative as the next person. You are just as intelligent as the next person. You are just as deserving as the next person. You deserve to be in that room just as much as the next person. That is what I am encouraging you today. But the thing is, if it was so easy to reinvent ourselves just by meeting new people, why don't we do it? Why? It's because our brains are stuck in survival mode. We are literally hardwired to move towards the good things and then stay away from the bad things. Yes, people can suck, people can hurt, people can be disappointing. We know all of these things. But if you want to be something different, something new, you have to be willing to step into the unknown. And dealing with people is part of stepping into the unknown. But why is it so important that we go out and meet new people? Because they can see something in us we may not see in ourselves. They can see something in us that the people around us may not see in us. See, I have a friend that's from Indiana. We had met about 8 years ago, I would say. In 2 years, we stopped talking. I swear to y'all, she fell off the face of the planet. I don't know where she went, but she just reappeared somewhere on Instagram. And I was like, I know you. You look familiar. But yeah, so we gained contact with each other about a year and a half ago, I would say. And we're just catching up on life, and I'm telling her like, hey, I'm about to graduate college soon. I joined a few organizations. What's going on with you? So she told me, oh, unfortunately, she didn't finish high school, but she was studying to get her GED. So I said, okay, like that's really cool. When you finish getting your GED, what is it that you want to do? She said that she wants to study criminology. I said, okay, like, you know, that's pretty cool. You should go ahead and do that. She wants to do what they do in CSI. I said, you know what, you should do that. That's really cool. And then she was shocked. She was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, okay, what? Like, what are you talking about? I'm confused. But she then told me that I was the first person to actually encourage her to do that. We're talking about family members, friends, longtime friends that known her longer than I have. I'm 2 years removed from her life. But I'm the first person to actually encourage her, to tell her to pursue what it is that you want to do. I saw something in her that the people around her didn't see. She told me that people will normally even laugh it off, shrug it off, be like, oh, you can't do that. But I'm the first person to tell her that, hey, you should go pursue what it is that you want to do. That is why it is so important to go out and meet new people. Because of the new perspectives they can have about you, they can have about the world. It can shift your way of thinking. That is why it's so important to go out and meet new people. So we talked about external factors that can prohibit us from reinventing ourselves. So that's why, and then you got to meet new people and the importance of meeting those new people. Then we talked about the internal factors of what prohibit us from reinventing ourselves, mental blocks. And I told you all that you are just as important and just as valuable as the next person. What else can we do to reinvent ourselves? When was the last time that any of you stepped out of Georgia? The last time any of you stepped out of Atlanta? Shoot, even seeing new trees, just different trees than what's down here in the South. Mm-hmm. See? So I'm encouraging you to travel. Learn something new about the world. Learn something new about yourself. Pick up a new hobby, a new activity. You see, in high school, unfortunately, I didn't go on any spring break trip. I remember everybody was going to PCB. I didn't go, unfortunately. And then when I was in college, everybody was going to Miami, and I wasn't able to go even though I wanted to. Then my senior year of college, I had finally had some money to go to Miami. But tell me why, this was last year, by the way, tell me why last year they decided to have all these restrictions, police presence, because they were tired of the spring breakers. So I said, oh, okay, I finally get some money, and y'all want to pull this off, huh? Okay, I see how it is. I see what we're doing now, okay. So I'll come back home spring break, and I have no idea what to do. I'm like, dang, man, like I'm driving around, and I'm looking at the same things. I'm like, bro, I want to see something different. So I hit up some friends from FAMU. And I say, hey, man, like, let me come down and hang out with y'all, see what y'all talking about for my spring break. They said, okay, come on down. So I come down, and I'm just hanging out down there at FAMU, and I'm excited. Like, my eyes are wide. I'm just excited and curious, wanting to know, like, what's Tallahassee like? Looking at new buildings, new restaurant, shoot, new trees, new people. And the thing is, we wonder why we're not as happy as we once were. Why we're not as bright-eyed and bushy-tailed as we once were. Why we're not as uppity as we once were. It's because as we get older, our curiosity dies. We don't fuel our curiosity. That's why I'm telling you to go out and travel, to fuel your curiosity, to go and learn something about the world, to go inquire about the world, inquire about yourself. Pick up new hobbies, new activities, and so on. That is what I'm encouraging you to do, to fuel your curiosity, because if you do that, if you fuel your curiosity, you will begin to think differently. And if you think differently, you will become a different person. That is the art of reinvention right there. Fuel your curiosity, think differently, become a different person, and that, you've done it. You have reinvented yourself. But what happens if you don't go out and travel the world? If you don't go out and see something different? I have a friend down in Savannah. She's from Savannah. She told me that she believed that there's nothing left in Savannah for her. And I said, okay, like, what do you want to do? So she told me that she could move to Missouri with a family member of hers. And I said, okay, you should totally do that. Like, why not? And she said, you think I should do that? I said, yeah, like, why not? You should totally do that. And she told me that her mom said that she would just be running away from her problems. I was like, no, you're not. You would not be running away from your problems. You see, we could be so stubborn that we get in our own way. We get in our own way. And there's nothing wrong with facing your problems head on. That's what you're supposed to do. But the thing is, though, we could be so stubborn that we think we're giving up. You're not giving up. You're moving on. That's what you're doing. There's a difference between giving up and moving on. So I'm telling her, I told her that. I said, you're not giving up, you're moving on. Moving on is something different. So she ended up not moving to Missouri. So she's running out the same people, doing the same things, mostly being the same person. But just imagine, what if she did go to Missouri and seen something different, met different people? She could have had new opportunities, new friends, new perspectives about herself, about the world. Somebody somewhere could have seen something in her that she doesn't see in herself, or the other people around her doesn't see in her. Just imagine, what if she moved to Missouri? What could have been different? What new activities, what new hobbies could she have picked up? She could have reinvented herself if she moved to Missouri, but because she didn't, she's still doing the same thing with the same people, with the same habits. So all in all, I am encouraging you today to go out and meet new people. I am encouraging you to put yourself in a new position that would challenge you and force you to reinvent yourself, to be the person you want to be. I am encouraging you to go out and travel. I am encouraging you today to tell you, you are just as important and just as valuable as much as the next person. A new person that you may not have known but prior to today. Telling you that. That is why I said it's so important to go out and meet new people. And finally, I'm encouraging you, whatever change it is you need to make, whether it's changing career fields, changing shoes, clothes, car, house, whatever change you need to make. Sometimes we need to see something different to be something different. That is what I need you all to do after today. Take that leap, take that jump, take that step, whatever it is, whatever it may be, so you can reinvent yourself. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate that.
Wow. Oh my God. Hell yes. Oh my God.
Appreciate it.
Y'all got me out here almost like in tears.
Appreciate that. Thank
I'm
you
over
so
here
much.
being delivered. I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta come up here and keep the show flowing.
Yeah, appreciate